The package arrived on my doorstep like an uninvited ghost from the past. Morgan Ellis, 29-year-old quiet accountant buried in spreadsheets and silence, stared at the return address from my estranged Aunt Lila's estate. Inside was a single item, a flowing emerald green skirt, knee-length with delicate gold threading that caught the light like hidden stars. One note tucked in the folds read, "This changed everything for me once. Maybe it will for you too." I laughed bitterly, the sound echoing in my empty apartment. Little did I know that slipping into that skirt would unravel my entire carefully constructed life and force me to rebuild it from threads of courage I never knew I possessed. I had always been the reliable one in my family, the one who stayed in the same mid-sized lakeside town of Willow Creek, took the safe accounting job at the local firm, and kept my head down after my parents' messy divorce. Socializing felt like a chore. My one close friend, Becca, teased me about being all numbers, no spark. That evening, after another long day crunching budgets for clients who barely acknowledged me, I found myself holding the skirt up to the mirror in my dimly lit bedroom. The fabric was soft, almost alive, with a subtle sheen that whispered of elegance. Why not? No one would see. It was just fabric, after all. Slipping it on over my leggings felt strange at first, the cool silk-like material hugging my hips, the hem brushing my calves with every shift. I paired it with an oversized sweater to hide the incongruity, but the mirror showed something unexpected. My posture straightened instinctively, my narrow shoulders squared, and my reflection held a quiet poise I didn't recognize. A small smile tugged at my lips despite the flush of embarrassment. For the first time in years, I didn't feel invisible. The next morning, curiosity won over caution. I wore the skirt under a long coat to the office, telling myself it was hidden. But during a routine coffee run in the break room, the coat slipped open. My coworker, Derek, paused mid-sip. "Morgan? Is that a skirt? New look." I froze, heart hammering. "Yeah, family heirloom. Testing it out." My voice came out steadier than expected, though my hands fidgeted with the hem. Derek raised an eyebrow but smiled. "Looks good on you. Kind of fresh. You carrying yourself differently today." That small exchange planted a seed. Becca called later that afternoon as I walked home, the skirt's gentle sway accompanying my steps through the crisp autumn air. "Hey, stranger. How's the number crunching? You sound lighter." I laughed nervously. "You won't believe it. I tried on this skirt from Aunt Lila. Wore it to work partially." Derek noticed. Becca's gasp was dramatic. "Morgan Ellis in a skirt? The world is ending. But seriously, how do you feel?" Exposed, I admitted the fabric brushing my skin with each stride, but also seen. Like I'm waking up. The inciting event came 2 days later at the annual town hall meeting. Willow Creek was debating a new community arts center, and my firm handled the finances. Usually I sat in the back, silent. This time, emboldened by the skirt, now worn openly with a simple blouse, I raised my hand during public comments. The mayor, an older woman named Mrs. Harlan, nodded. "Morgan? Go ahead." I stood, the emerald fabric flowing as I moved to the mic. The numbers support the center, but it's more than budgets. It's about giving people space to discover who they are, beyond expectations. My voice didn't waver. The room murmured approval. Afterward, Becca found me in the hallway, eyes wide. "That was incredible. You've never spoken up like that. The skirt's magic or what?" I smoothed the material, feeling its warmth. "Maybe. It makes me move like I mean it." Aunt Lila said it changed everything for her. Becca hugged me. "Then keep wearing it. Let's grab coffee and talk more." Our conversations stretched late into the evening at the Lakeside Cafe, the scent of pine and fresh brews surrounding us. "You've been carrying your parents' divorce like armor," Becca said over her latte. "Hiding your creative side, the drawings you used to do. This skirt? It's cracking that shell." I nodded, vulnerability surfacing. I always thought blending in kept me safe. But today, people listened. It feels scary good. The transformation journey began in earnest. I started wearing the skirt more often, each day a small rebellion. Mornings involved careful choices, pairing it with tights for cooler weather, adding a scarf that complemented the gold threads. My reflection evolved, hair styled in loose waves instead of a tight ponytail, makeup a subtle touch of mascara that brightened my hazel eyes. Colleagues reacted variably. Derek became an unexpected ally. During a team lunch, he asked, "Morgan, what's the story behind the skirt? You've got this new energy in meetings." "It's from my aunt," I explained, fork pausing. "She was a traveler, pushed boundaries. Wearing it reminds me life's, not just columns on a page." He leaned in. "Good for you. My sister went through something similar after coming out. Changed her whole vibe. Proud of you stepping up." Those words warmed me, building confidence. Weekends brought outings with Becca. We visited the local market, where the skirt's flow turned heads, but mostly brought smiles. An elderly vendor complimented me. "That color suits your spirit, dear." Bold. I blushed but stood taller. "Thank you." First time feeling bold in years. At home, I dug into Aunt Lila's old letters, discovering she had worn the skirt during a pivotal trip abroad in her youth, defying family expectations to pursue art. It mirrored my own buried dreams of illustration. The sensory joy grew, the soft rustle of fabric while sketching late at night, the way it encouraged fluid movements during walks by the lake, clearing mental fog. Social pressure mounted gradually. My father called one evening, his gruff voice laced with concern after a mutual friend mentioned my new style. "Morgan, what's this about dresses? You trying to make a statement or something?" I gripped the phone. The skirt pooled around me on the couch. "It's one skirt, Dad. Aunt Lila's. It's helping me feel more like myself. Not hiding anymore." He sighed. "After the divorce, I wanted stability for you. But if it's making you happy, just be careful what people say." His reluctant support eased an old ache. Becca celebrated with me over text. "See? Even your dad bent. This is growth." The journey deepened with a makeover session Becca insisted on. In her apartment, filled with colorful fabrics and laughter, she helped refine the look. "Try this top with the skirt," she suggested, holding up a fitted emerald blouse. "And let me do your hair." As she brushed and twisted my locks into an elegant updo, I watched the transformation. I look different. Softer, but stronger. Becca stepped back. "You are different. Confident. Now, own it at the Arts Center fundraiser next week." The event was my first big test. The skirt, freshly cleaned and glowing, became my armor and wings. Mingling among artists and donors, I felt eyes on me but carried myself with poise. A gallery owner named Julian approached, his warm brown eyes curious. "Morgan, right? Your comments at the town hall were inspiring. And that skirt. Vintage flair with modern grace. Are you involved in the creative side too?" I smiled, nerves fluttering but voice steady. "Accounting by day, but I've been sketching again. The skirt reminds me of possibilities." We talked for hours about art and identity. "Where what makes you feel alive," Julian said. "It shows in your presence." His encouragement fueled late-night drawing sessions, where ideas flowed freely. Relationships shifted too. Derek invited me to collaborate on a pro bono project for the Art Center, our conversations turning personal. "You've inspired the team," he told me one afternoon in the office. "Not just the look, the ideas. What's next for you?" "Applying to illustration courses part-time," I replied. This one skirt started it all. The major conflict erupted at the fundraiser's climax. A distant cousin, Victor, attended and recognized the skirt from family photos. He pulled me aside near the stage, face stormy. "Morgan, that's Aunt Lila's. She caused enough family drama with her adventures. You're not turning into her, are you?" Dad's worried this phase is a cry for attention. Tension coiled in my chest, the emerald fabric suddenly feeling heavier. "It's not a phase, Victor. It's me discovering I don't have to be the safe, invisible accountant forever. Aunt Lila lived fully. Why can't I?" He scoffed. "Social pressure in this town won't forgive eccentricity. Think of the family name." The argument drew quiet attention, suspense thickening the air. Becca intervened, but doubt crept in as I drove home, questioning if one skirt was worth the rift. The twist came the next morning via an old journal from the estate package I'd overlooked. Aunt Lila had written, "Wore the skirt the day I stood up to my father and chose art school. It wasn't the cloth, it was the courage it symbolized. Passed it to you because you have the same spark hidden." Reading it, tears fell. The skirt hadn't forced change. It had uncovered what was already there. Victor's words lost power against this revelation. I called my father. "Dad, the skirt isn't rebellion. It's connection to Aunt Lila, to myself. I love numbers, but I need color too." He was silent then. "Your mother and I argued about letting you explore more. I held you back. If this skirt helps, I'm sorry." Proud, actually. Relief flooded me. Becca visited that evening and we talked deeply. "You faced Victor head-on," she said. "That's the Morgan I always saw." "Thanks to this," I replied, touching the skirt. "And you." Julian texted soon after, leading to coffee dates where our shared passions blossomed into something tender. "Your story with that skirt? It's art itself," he said one sunset walk. The resolution unfolded as the art center opened. I contributed illustrations for their brochure, wearing the emerald skirt proudly on stage during the ribbon cutting. The crowd applauded, family present, Dad nodding approval, Victor quietly reflective. In the months that followed, my life transformed profoundly. I balanced accounting with illustration gigs, my confidence radiating in every interaction. The skirt hung in my closet as a talisman, worn on meaningful days, its fabric a reminder of fluidity and strength. Friendships deepened, family bonds mended through honest talks, and with Julian, I found partnership rooted in mutual growth. One skirt didn't just change my outfit, it rewrote my narrative. From the shadows of safety to the light of self-expression, I emerged whole. Standing by the lake now, wind catching the emerald hem, I smile at the person I've become, no longer hiding, but shining in my own vibrant hues. The threads of that single garment wove an entire new life, one of courage, connection, and endless possibility.